Hello, and welcome back to PlumeriaPlay, or welcome if you're new here. Today we're going to be building a house for the 100 baby challenge, and this is what we're going to be using as our inspo. So jumping straight into the build, it's not going to be an exact replica of our inspo picture because I'm going to be squishing it down a little. We want to be in a tiny home to start just to get some extra skill gain before we have to make more space for all the babies. But I do think it ends up looking pretty close to it in the end. While this house is going to be used for my 100 baby challenge, since it's just a starter home at this point, you could really use it for any small family. It doesn't scream 100 baby challenge by any means, but it's going to morph and change a lot along the way as the family grows. So definitely feel free to use this house in your everyday gameplay. You'll see here in just a second, I really struggled to roof this house. I feel like I had to shift it and move it so many times, and then before it's all over, I think I have to change it again once I add the roof trims and things on there. I don't know why I was having such a hard time with it. Maybe it was because I was trying to copy the inspo picture exactly, and that was a mistake. So if you also struggle with roofing, just know you're not alone. I know that's probably one of the biggest complaints in the Sims community is how difficult it can be to roof sometimes. But I do really think the roof ends up coming together in the end, and I'm actually really happy with how the exterior of this house turns out altogether. I am building this house in Sequoia on 23 Eucalyptus Lan. It's just the empty lot that just comes with that one big tree on it if you'd like to place this house down in the exact same spot. But since I am building in Sequoia, we are using a lot of the Growing Together pack. I just wanted the house to fit well into the world, and Growing Together has some of my favorite build and buy assets in the entire game, especially the doors and the windows and like the new sidings and stuff that it came with. I just really like the craftsman vibes that it gives off. That's one of my personal favorite build styles even in real life, and Growing Together just felt appropriate since we are doing the 100 baby challenge. Speaking of the 100 baby challenge, I have been putting off doing it for so long because of how buggy the infants were, and I think they've been tuned just a little bit, but they are still pretty buggy, so I'm hoping that's not too much of an issue while we're doing this challenge. But at the end of the day, this is The Sims 4, so I'm sure we will still encounter our fair share of bugs and glitches while we play the 100 baby challenge. So as you can see, we're figuring out the interior, and it actually came together so easy. The garage space that we had in the inspo picture is not a garage, but since we're doing a tiny home, some corners definitely had to be cut. I'm just kind of trying to figure out where to place the kitchen right now, and I decide this corner over here. So while we're furnishing the kitchen now, let's talk about some of the rules I'm going to be following for the 100 baby challenge. I am going to do my best to have it be the same mom sim the entire time, which they don't age while they're pregnant, so I'm hoping that won't be too difficult. I don't know if I'm going to want to put the onlay lime lot to get multiple babies. I'm thinking it might be the best route to just have one at a time, but as part of our rules, we can only add lot traits while we first move into the house, and then after that we can't touch them again. So I'm gonna need to go ahead and make a decision on that. Other rules we're gonna be following is that I can age up the crib babies instantly since we've got infants now, and for the infants, they're going to have 2 milestones in each category other than life before they're able to be aged up. My toddlers will have to have level 3 in all skills, including potty training. And for children and teens to be aged up, they'll have to have an A in school. Now that is the rules for the kids to be aged up. The rules for my mom, she is going to have to work only from home. She's not going to be able to have any work away jobs. Her main priority is raising them babies. So since we're not going to be able to have a regular job, we are going to be doing crystal making. Maybe this sounds a little backwards, but I'm looking for a way to cheat without actually cheating, and some of the crystal charges are basically cheats in and of themselves. You best believe I'm gonna be on the hunt for PlumBite, like raising your Sims needs slowly over time. Yes, please. But I think it's a little too cheaty to search the world for these crystals because sometimes you get really lucky and get them so quick. So to kind of combat that, we are also going to be doing the gardening skill and growing crystal trees. So only crystals will be the ones that we can buy from the tables or the ones that we get ourselves from our own tree. You may be thinking, Sarah, you're talking about doing the crystal creations pack and yet you have not put down one of the gem cutter tables. And to that I say, I forgot. I think I just got so lost in trying to make the house aesthetic that I completely forgot to make it functional for my purposes. So you will see that here in just a minute. And I end up putting it in the baby room. So right now there's 2 cribs and 2 of the play mats, but I am going to take one of each out to make room for our crystal table. We might end up needing the other baby things, but I figure we can make a little money early on and then we'll have enough room to afford that. And then I can maybe just scoot the crystal table outside and plop a roof over it when it doesn't really need to look all that nice for our gameplay purposes. You'll also see me set one of those charging tables out just in the back corner. I didn't really decorate it in because honestly at this point it just doesn't really matter. It needs to be there, but it doesn't have to be pretty to charge crystals at this point. And this is a starter home since it's our 100 baby challenge home. So we did have to cut some corners decoration wise, but you know, it functions and that's the most important part. Oh, and there I am, finally placing the gem cutting table. I was debating whether to put it outside at first, and I didn't want to mess up my cute roof that I worked so hard on, so I did decide to just put it in the baby room, and we're just going to be decorating up that baby room right now. Plus, I'm thinking for function-wise, it'll be nice to have our workstation be really close to our baby. We won't have to go far to switch between tasks, and I guarantee you we'll be doing a lot of switching between tasks. And for me personally, I'm such an overachiever, so I don't want to just age up normal infants. I want happy and top-notch infants. I am not setting out to just complete this challenge. I am setting out to dominate it. Anyways, you may see the welcome wagon outside, which are the bane of my existence, but our girl Teddy had to do a little play testing for the bathroom space, so they're going to just be standing out there while we do some landscaping. For this build's landscaping, I'm keeping it really simple, mainly because we're not using any cheats, so I am having to purchase all this landscaping, but I figured it wouldn't be fair if we got the debug landscaping. I also really like a uniform landscaping because I just think it's realistic. Like the overgrown landscapings are beautiful, but you do not see that in everyday life. Like people do not have houses with overgrown landscaping like that. We are also going for cookie cutter suburban vibes, and nothing says cookie cutter suburban than landscaping like this. You may have seen just now that I opted for one of the indoor money trash cans instead of an outdoor trash can. They just make a lot more sense for a challenge like this because you do get money back on everything you throw away, and we are going to have a lot of diapers and bottles. And with that, we are adding the final touches to the house, some landscaping, terrain paint, a little half fence. It's really there for the vibes more so than functionality, but it might be a full yard one day. And with that, we're heading into screenshot, so I will see you guys in the next one.